Hi, and welcome to Moral High Ground. Today I'm going to be talking about the medical system and if it's morally right or not. This issue needs to be talked about because we live in a time period where a lot of people are suffering. And I've given this much thought because suffering comes in different stages. Most people think, oh, suffering means you're about to die. It comes in lots of different stages. Be sufferingly miserable inside, suffering, and no one knows that you are. You can smile and whatnot. A friend of mine brought up some documents to show me that something about this the other day, and he was saying that a person can be smiling, happy, but inside they're really depressed. They're really emotionally unstable, and it's not a good thing. And so what we're going to talk about is this. Okay, so breaking it down. Number one. The medical system. We know that the medical board is supposed to be a place where you go, you get healthy. If you're sick of some disease, they give you medication. If you're injured, limbs are broken, you get surgery. If you got mental illness, they give you medication and therapy. If you're pregnant, they help you give birth to your child. If you're elderly, they help you, take care of you, manage all your things that's making you sick, and even put you in a nursing home if they have to. Now, this is the common things that everyone knows. But the problem is, the truth, the darkness behind it is, there's money involved. And when there's money involved, greed gets involved. And when greed gets involved, selfishness happens. And then not just selfishness, okay, but a need to sit there and only care about the main objective is getting your money and making sure you can get everything done as fast as possible and get it out the way. Okay? And there's doctors out there who have lost the true sense of why they became a doctor in the first place. And they prescribe things that is ungodly and they know is wrong. They do things, surgery, that they know is wrong. It's like plastic surgery is number one. They'll do surgeries and just mess up people's faces on the hell of it. There's some girl that was on a talk show, and she was talking about how a doctor said she could help her get plastic surgery, and he did all these things, and it turned out he wasn't supposed to do plastic surgery at all. But he disformed her, made her look like a monster, hideous. Okay? That's plastic surgery though. But my point is, it's all about money, people. They'll give you something to tell you this will cure the symptom, but really it's just something small little thing that will keep you addicted or will in some cases cause more of another issue that will keep you coming back to the hospital. And this is how they make profit. They don't try to find a cure. They try to find something that will settle you down for a while, something that will mildly make you feel like you're okay, so they can try to come back and get more money out of you. And it's the truth, okay? There's a certain thing, certain drugs, especially in mental health. There's certain drugs in mental health that will make you think they're helping the issue, but yet it will cause more of a greater issue. It will block out your inhibitors in your brain, so forth. It's not cool, okay? So many doctors, now this is the funny thing about it, so many doctors get their license revoked, but no one talks about it. Unless the doctor did something so outrageous, so grievous, and so, outstandingly I can't even think of the word, heinous, that they decided that they were going to revoke that person's license and the person will be on the news and everything. But other than that, the thing is, there's so many doctors get away with it. And this is where medical lawsuits come in, companies lose things, and so forth. I myself had to sue over a medical thing that happened that caused the death of a loved one. A lot of people have. And the thing about it is these people still get to go out and practice whatever they want. And the person that may be responsible had an assistant, had a trainee, or a nursing team, and they learned all these little things from this person. That person decided to get more of a better degree and became a doctor. So they're no longer a nurse, and then they end up trying to practice some of the stuff that they learned from their previous doctor. And the things that they thought were good, that were actually bad. It's kind of like when you learn from a mechanic how to fix a car. And that's all mechanics are car doctors. They go in, they fix a car, but they got little cheap ways to get the car done. They'll put something in your engine block to fix a whole distributor cap problem or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? They will go on and do these things, and the car will run for a while until it truly needs full maintenance and the thing fixed or taken out of the car altogether. Now, the thing I'm trying to say is it's wrong. The true people that the medical board cares about are the elderly ones with not just insurance, with money backed up to pay for things, out-of-pocket fees. You know what I'm saying? The thing that's bad is the fact that they get away with pretty much milking the elderly. And the elderly got it worse because it comes to a certain point in time where old people, they get ignored. They get ignored because they're not with the new hip thing. They don't know about it. They can't really relate to that. They got so many kids, grandkids, whatever. Or maybe they don't have any, but they've forgotten because they used to be somebody. But now it's like, oh, there's so many other people that think they're somebody. And so this old person's irrelevant now. And because they're irrelevant, it comes to a state of mind where how can we get these people the attention they need, when they start getting weak and old. This is why it's very important. Now this is totally different, but at the same time it's not. It's not separate, but it kind of is. This is why it's important to have a relationship that is going to last long when you get old, so you have someone to look after you and care for you. Not someone that's just going to give it you because of money and all this other stuff. Whole different story, whole different concept, what you can talk about. But the thing about it is, it's highway robbery in the most messed up sense because we want people to take care of us and heal us when we're fucking sick or when we're dying. Okay, these medical issues for elderly people are serious because their lifespan is short. Most of them give up and just pass away. And then that's when all the vultures come. They say they love them and stuff, but they were gone long enough for a medical board to put them in a nursing home or put them in some kind of place to give them the medical treatment they need. This is why I said long ago on a podcast, mini podcast, I said they need to create a system with what you call scribes. People follow you around, younger people follow the person around, and they write down, everything that person says, the stories of the past, people they've, known, friends, whatever. That way that person's memories don't be lost. Plus it's good for a person that might have dementia or something that will be able to remember things. So this is a new system I think that should happen, but I think that person should only be within the family set or whatever distant friend of whatever. Anything that's closer to the individual when they get older. And have that kid be, the grandkid or the son or whoever, that, looks out for their elderly person in their life that they love. And that way that person doesn't go into the darkness alone and is able to pay attention to what's going on with the medical people that's treating them as well. So that would be a great safeguard, for someone. Plus, wisdom gets taught. Wisdom that has been lost and forgotten. Some young people are so dumb and they didn't know everything. When you start trying to explain the old ways and stuff that people know that they should know, they turn a blind eye and think they know everything. I had to deal with a young guy and I was trying to explain things to him, but he thought he knew everyththing. So most of the time when you start, I'm trying to explain something to see if he knew about it, he's like, oh, we're talking about, and starts saying he knows everything. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about that. It was okay, well, I just ignored all of the fact that trying to explain something to you, because literally, who wants to explain something to somebody that thinks they know everything? And this is what the problem with the young people are. And I know, because I used to be one of the people, sometimes I would think I know everything. Over the years I've learned it's best to try to listen to people, so that way you can understand them better, have better understanding, and to be able to socially, be able to actually enjoy a conversation instead of just trying to, oh, I know this, that's toxic. That's actually a form of narcissism in a way, because you make yourself feel superior because you think you know everything. Though the truth is you never truly know everything, because there's parts of the world you weren't raised in, there's things in the world that you weren't taught about, and there's things in the world that everyone still thinks is a mystery. So you don't know everything. The thing about doctors, they're on that same borderline. They think they know everything when it comes to medicine. They think they know everything when it comes to healing. They think they know everything when it comes to surgeries and all kinds of stuff. But then there's always patients, let's say, that prove them wrong. There was this guy who had died of cancer. He ate some moldy crap and was able to kill off his cancer. Ever since then, the guy ate some moldy food. He was able to prove the doctors wrong. I'm not telling you if you have cancer, eat moldy food. But this is what the guy did. He put stuff in jars, let it mold, eat, and he has never had cancer ever again. There's also a guy that was a doctor who created a serum, and I talked about this before, called Termin's Toxins. And the serum was based off a patient that was dying of cancer. And he was able to, get him close to death, but he was able to heal him again based off of some kind of serum with mushrooms and stuff, because it was fungus that was killing him, that he realized the fungus is cancer. Later on, what happened was his theory got bought out by the radiation theory that we all know today. It became such a norm that even if you was to bring this concept back out there, because many years later, 50 years later, his daughter grew up, found her dad's journals on toxin, Termin's Toxins, and tried to bring it back into the population, and it was too late because we already know about the whole radiation thing and chemo and all that. And so, but yet, it's an honest to God cure because another doctor cured someone of it, and that's how he was able to do it, and then created a name for it and was trying to treat people with it. And this happened in the 1920s or 30s, and it's been lost in time now. But this stuff is still out there. People not, but there's doctors that will tell you that's wrong, that's not true, because they know everything. Okay, I'm a strong believer that doctors don't know everything. I believe there's things, and then like I had a physical therapist one time, based off of some crap that happened in a fight I had, and they're like, oh, you do this, so everything she's talking about sounded like martial arts to me, and like, Asian medicine. And I try to explain some stuff I know from Asian medicine and things. Like, how do you know this? I mean, I literally got a Chinese symptom cure book or whatever, and I was explaining stuff to her. She doesn't know any of it. And so it kind of was like, and it weird, and I know I'm not Asian, but it was like almost like you're racist towards Asian people. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as I mention that it's an Asian practice that you're doing, and there's Asian cure to this in medicine that Asians made, she was like, shut, like white people and that type of thing. And it was like, most of your stuff in medicine you have today comes from Asian cultures and other cultures that studied medicine for centuries, but it doesn't make any sense, It's just like when you talk about mental illness, you can go all the way back to Freud, but people don't want to do that because they can't even think of him anymore. He's irrelevant now. He's so far gone in history, but he's one of the dudes that actually sat there and created the whole thing of mental illness in your brain. So it's this concept is all jacked up. The reason why I'm talking about this stuff, I had a medical issue happen just 2 months ago. And I'm kind of shocked because I'm young. Maybe not young to a lot of people, but I'm young. And something that usually happens to men or women that reach 50 or older. And I'm just surprised, but and I went through hell at a hospital with doctors and everything. And this is how they got me. First, get an ambulance. Ambulance cost me $2,000. $2,000. Now, if you pay taxes, there's the thing that gets me. If you pay taxes, you pay for ambulance and the fire department and the police, all that through your taxes, especially if you own a house. Because when I own a house, you look at your property tax things, and they will tell you what they're taking money for your taxes. So when you pay taxes on your house, that money is going to your firemen, the police, the ambulance, just the local school, because there was like a preschool where I used to live. It was up the street, and then there was another one down the street, but I was paying for both of them on property taxes. And a lot of people are. You just don't know it. You go get your property taxes, go pull out the bill if you own a house, and see what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about like mortgage either. Go spend cash. I spent $350,000 back then on the house and stuff. So people look at the thing and be like, oh, crap. I do pay for this preschool. I do pay for the police and the fire department. So when they come, they already got paid through taxes. But the ambulance itself is a private entity. Okay, it's like a whole different corporation. So they charge you automatically as soon as you touch that dam. In the hospital, they're charging you fees as soon as you get in there to sit in the hospital. I sit in the hospital for like, oh man, pretty much a week. And I'm getting doped up, all this stupid medication and crap. But then they're experimenting on me and all these different things. And this is the problem with medication. This is the problem with doctors, period. They're experimenting on you. They don't know what's wrong with you. But they're gonna put you through the ringer. This woman tried to put me through a machine and like had this whole thing on my head, shot some crap, my legs wasn't working. And it's like, oh, and this is why I haven't did Moral High Ground in a minute too. Because I went through all this medical crap and I went through a phase where I'm like, dang, what am I doing? But I do enjoy doing this. Even though I'm not getting paid or whatever, but I express my feelings through this thing and it's good stuff. But anyway, so I went through this whole machine and all this crap and the x-ray thing, all this woman tells me, oh, we gotta give you this shot, it's gonna fix the clot in your brain and you only got 3 minutes to do it, it can make you paralyzed or dead, and or whatever, but it could fix everything, you'll be good. And you got like a 53% chance. I'm like, hell no, I don't want none of that. No. They're not gonna shut my brain off, make me a vegetable, make me dead, and for what? So you can experiment and see if this actually work. Maybe work on a black man, maybe never done that before. At the same time, I went to another machine and I had some stupid cage on me and stuff. It was like this weird ass cage thing, all this crap, okay? I sat there for I don't know how many minutes. That was weird. Then they put me through all these things and then a lot of things started bothering me. Just like after a while started bothering me, oh, we gotta make your blood pressure go down. Well, then give me the medication I need for it to, let's actually up the dosage so maybe I can get the hell out of the hospital. So long story short, those machines cost thousands of dollars for me to even get in them. So while I'm getting in these machines, there's thousands of dollars they're taxing to my bill. Okay, long story short though, the meals, the nurses, the annoying nurses, and I'd rather mess with the freaky nurses. But either way, the nurses, okay, all this crap, okay, you can tell some nurses are not educated at all. They're there for a paycheck, they learn how to do the skill, bam, they're done. And dating a nurse is a whole different concept. Some are really caring, some aren't. Because they're taking their anger and frustration from work out on the people they care about. You'll learn if you ever date a nurse. But the whole thing I'm saying is, $23,000 for that one hospital visit and all them problems. $2,300 or $23,000. So $23,000, the insurance take out their portion, and I still got several thousands I have to pay out of pocket. So it's like I don't have that money right now because I'm already in debt somewhere else. So it's like, God dang, I'm in debt everywhere. The thing about it is, this is why I say they want elderly people who got insurance, they want people who got money, and all that. Insurance is another thing that's a fraud. Because, think about it, we're supposed to be getting healthy. Why is your health cost so damn much? And then the thing about it is, everything's a marketing thing. Like I said a long time ago, this country is ran by corporations, organizations, and businesses that are just downright greedy. The hospital is no different. And so they charge you up the butt. Here in Oregon, you got the Oregon Health Plan. It covers every medical thing whatsoever. But if you don't got it or lapse or whatever, you can get it back. But at the same time, why do we have to have insurance? It just doesn't make any sense. Because insuring things, now when it comes to hospitals and stuff, okay, that's different. If you say I'm getting car insurance or I'm getting house insurance, and why are you getting house insurance and car insurance? Because people will come in and they either rob your car or to destroy it. Same thing with your house. They rob your house, take everything in there, or destroy it. So you got to find a way to replace these things, okay? And you can go on about death insurance, which is just, let's say you die, we got to make sure your family can bury you so you have money. These things are bad because they're trying to tell you, oh, you're going to die soon, so you might as well get some death insurance. Oh, they might steal your car. They might break your car. They might hit you in the car. You got to get you some car insurance. But when it comes to medical, you're insuring yourself to get medication. mostly. You're insuring yourself so you can get medication. Medication is so expensive. Why is it so expensive? Because they're putting a label on it and they're saying, okay, this is how much we're going to charge for it. It really shouldn't even be charged that much, especially if you can create thousands of it at a time, billions of it. But you're selling it worldwide, or should I say, countrywide, But you're insuring the medication that you can pay it and all this crap. It's not even really about the doctor thing, but every equipment you use in there, you got to pay for it, you're getting charged for it, and it doesn't make any sense. If health is about healing people, making sure people can survive and live, then there shouldn't be a fee or cost on saving people's lives. That's the honest to God truth. Jesus went out and healed blind men and cripples and leopards and all this, and he just did it for the hell of it. They didn't do it because he decided that he needed a couple bucks so they can go fishing on Peter's boat. He just said, hey, I'm just going to fix this guy. I'm going to heal this woman. I'm going to heal these kids. I'm going to cast out demons, whatever, right? Medical system is supposed to be based off of the whole thing. They use the whole thing with the cross snakes, like Moses did. He's supposed to heal people. They hold it up because everybody got sick, in the desert. If you know that part of the Bible of Exodus. But then again, it happens again with Apollo's son, Sisyphus or whatever his name is. He became a great medical doctor, supposed to be the first and ever in mankind. And once again, he had a staff with twisted snakes on it. So whatever it is, I would say the snakes have to do with the fact that there is some crookedness when people are trying to actually take advantage of the weak. There's snakes out there, they're trying to get over on you. My point being, I don't know if that's being picked up, so I gotta pause for a second here. But the thing is, the point is, even Canada has free insurance, free medical insurance, and they have it because why not? The country needs some kind of freeness. America, that's supposed to be a country that everything is free, charges you for everything in the hospital, medication, everything, and make sure you gotta have insurance to cover it. That doesn't make any sense. We're the land of the free. They're supposed to be the home of the Braves and all this stuff. I say Braves like the land of the Braves, but I'm just saying, it makes no sense. Okay? And this is where the moral wrongness comes in, is because of the financial institution that became of a health situation, and good people are dying. They can go out, there's people out there that put their lives at risk. They'll put themselves in car wrecks, they'll put themselves in fights, they'll go around starting crap with people to try to get their ass kicked or whatnot. They asked them for it. They asked them for death. They're knocking on to heaven's door and shaking hands with the devil, okay? But the people that are just trying to live day by day, they're trying to work, and then the health gets bad, and they go to the doctor. There's nobody to say, hey, we're going to heal you real quick. They shouldn't have to deal with all this problems, because once they're healed of whatever the hell it is, the next issue comes. Maybe they never had stress their whole life, but once you put a big ass bill in front of them, oh, they're stressed out. They're stressed out. They got to figure out how to take care of it, how to handle it, how to cover it, all that. And so it just drives them nuts. Most people put themselves in stress by putting themselves in debt right away. Hey, look at college students. Some will go to college and learn pointless things, and then they had to sit back and owe a college debt. That's why they made that little stupid crap, through the freaking, AOC and all them. But get rid of college debt. Well, that's your college debt. No one's dumb. Everyone knows you're trying to pay your college debt off through some kind of dumbass bill that you're creating through Congress. Okay? It doesn't make any sense. Okay? All this stuff is morally wrong. People should be able to get healed by just the whole nature of doing the right thing. Somewhere something's got to give. And then for years now in the politics, they always talk about, oh, we're going to get taxes, medical taxes, and education, and this and all that crap. But where's the money going? Because all that shit should have been done long ago. They were saying that crap when I was a freaking toddler, and yet the medical taxes, school, education, and all these other things, none of that stuff ever gets done. So really, while people are going off about Trump, they're going off about Biden's and all this crap, Democrats, Republicans, none of them is doing anything. I don't care how fucking polished you think it is. They're not doing anything Okay, there's too many people in the country, and they're not trying to focus on handling them things. They're trying to focus on putting more money in their pocket. Have you ever noticed that nothing never really gets set? Yeah, they'll change the rules, they change certain things, and the playbook gets different every time, but it's all distractions. Like for instance, COVID-19 comes out. Everybody's all panicking and tripping and stuff. Oh, we gotta get the virus, all this crap. Me, I was happy it didn't have to, I was kind of mad. I was about to get $6,000 because it cut me right off of both my jobs. And I was like, damn. But at the same time, I'm like, well, this disease is cool. No one has to be around me. I don't have to be around nobody. Cool. You know, but at the same time, who's to say that wasn't out there? They put something out there to kill off half the population. So things can kind of go back to normal financially. They can actually work with a certain number of people. Whatever that certain number was they wanted. Maybe it was 10 million that they wanted to die from across the certain areas of America. You know, not just 10 million once, but 10 million more like 3-4 times. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know, who's to say they didn't want that to happen? Who's to say the woke movement and their whole thing of pushing all these little concepts like, oh, you know, men or women and all that crap, the open sexual nonsense is not a ploy to get people sexually transmitted diseases. And so they get killed off, you know, and die off because they're still into switching into some crap that doesn't make sense to nobody. Honestly, it's supposed to be dying off now. I think everybody's tired of the woke movement because the woke movement makes no sense. This is illogical, irrational, dementia, or should I say, delusional ignorance. Because none of it makes sense. Never made sense, never will make sense if you have a rational mind and you know what's what, and you're not trying to make too many colors into a painting, and you know, piss down somebody's back and tell them it's raining and you believe it. You know what I mean? Come on now. This is the stupidest thing. It's the people that want to stand out, you know, and think they're better than other people. But no, probably no one believes that crap and no one accepts that crap. Especially me. You know, no one cares. And it's like some stuff has to stay personal between you and whoever it is you're involved with. You shouldn't have to always go out and tell everybody some nonsense. You know, but that whole thing doesn't make sense. No one should accept somebody that decides, oh, I want to be a banana one day. They're just like, I'm a banana. Or some crap, you know, there's my code word or whatever the hell. What the hell is this crap that you got programmed with? Who brainwashed you? You know, so I mean, yeah, this is so it's dying off. There's always some kind of new crap that comes every generation. And then it dies off and then something else happens. And it just doesn't make sense. But all that's there to distract you from the real cause. That they're milking you for money over here in one area. They're trying to take over something over here. They're trying to make you, you know, do a little bit. It's like that girlfriend you get rid of. It's like that girlfriend you get rid of. I don't say it from my point of view. Okay, I can't say it from a guy, girl, person. Anyway, it's like a girlfriend you get rid of. And she comes back and she got some gift like, oh, here you go. Here's some shoes I bought for you. Or here's this thing, you need these, you should have this. You know, so you pay more attention to her, like her, whatever. But you might talk to her because of whatever reason it was, you're trying to give her something back. Oh, I bought you this, I bought you that. And so you're supposed to get all buttery and be like, okay, I want to be with you now. And just so she can get over on you more in the long run, because it's just like a magician. It's a sleight of hand. You gotta watch what's happening in this hand while this thing is going on over here in that hand. So, I mean, honestly, this is all wrong. This whole concept of trying to accept things that are wrong and make it look good is stupid. But I'm just saying, over all this stuff, people gotta see there's something really going on that doesn't make sense. And here's the big thing of why I'm saying all this about the whole look at this hand and something else going on with this hand type of thing. All the stuff I'm talking about. I haven't went off track of the medical thing because this is what I'm talking about. Okay? Here's a big picture. They don't let you experiment on rodents and medical animals and stuff. They don't do that. There's no experimenting on animal DNA and seeing if this was the test for humans and stuff. They don't just throw stuff at you. The reason why they do test on is prisoners. They test on prisoners and military soldiers. Why? First off, prisoners, you know, they're in jail, they're in prison, and yes, they have a certain amount of time, but they can't refuse certain things. And there's certain things they don't even know about. They'll sign a contract, whatever it is. They don't care. They just follow the rules. They're trying to follow the rules good so they can get a good time and get out of prison. So yes, they experiment on them. They'll give them certain drugs, certain things to see if it works. And then they'll think, you say, oh, this can't happen. There's laws against that. Is there? And what state? And which state? And what state has it not happened at yet? Because it has happened. Believe that. They're giving prisoners drugs and things that they don't even know about. That causes other problems to their health. And the same thing about military soldiers. People think, oh, they represent America, they represent this and that. They go in there and they get experimented on. First thing they tell a military soldier, especially in the Army, you lost your rights. You don't have rights as a U.S. citizen because you have to fight for those rights to get them back. You see? You're not just going to war to protect your family, you're going to war to protect your citizenship. And so yes, you're able to be experimented on. It's like that one, if you go watch military history like I do, and other military things, they'll talk about this thing they sat on the beach, and they all turned to look at something blow up, and every last one of them got a disease. Because they said the military soldiers, hey, turn, look at this. Boom. They all ended up with some kind of sickness, I forget what it is, and it was bad, like some form of cancer. Then there was some other stuff like that happened, and they experimented on these guys. So the stuff we get in regular ass hospitals have been used already on humans as that was test subjects in prison or in the military. And then the other half of it is just straight trial and error. And that's what the regular citizens get, trial and error. So a lot of things have to be analyzed. My point is the U.S. medical system needs to change. Okay, it needs to change. Every freaking medical hospital, organization, facility has to be investigated. Every doctor has to be microscopically looked at, and every nurse needs mental health. And so, with this being said, I leave it up to you to decide if it's morally right or wrong, and you can leave a comment and let me know if you think it is. But I honestly think that medical cures need to happen. No more of this, helping a symptom type of crap. Oh, we're not going to get enough money for that. Hell, you have insurance, people paying insurance and all this to get the drugs and things. They have all that. You have people wasting their life savings to pay for medication and stuff. There's all this crap. You've got people like, organization like the Organ Health Plan that pays for everything. Then why the hell are you still trying to get more money out of people? It's wrong, people. You understand what I'm saying? This stuff is wrong. It makes no sense. Okay? And there should be a way to nip it in the bud and let's cure people. If we live in the 21st century where everything's supposed to be changing and advancing, I say the most thing that's the most advanced is the computer and all the programmings we got. We got tons of programs, platforms, all kinds of stuff. And then now we got robotics happening, which is the most coolest thing in some ways. AI, and then you got the robots that walk upright and do backflips and stuff. You've seen the freaking memes and stuff. So I'm just like, honestly, why do we continue to shorten our lifespans instead of extending it? And you never know what a human's abilities can be when they reach past a certain level. If they're able to keep themselves healthy, pure, and almost damn right immortal. We don't know. Even though the legends say humans have lived at least 1,000 years or close to it. So let's try to make a hospital system that can actually give you cures, not symptoms, not prosthetics. Let's say if we can try to regrow limbs, hell, we can regrow a rib, we can regrow our liver. Why can't we regrow everything else? So anyway, with all this being said, this has been Moral High Ground. Like I said, peace be with you all. Blessings to you. And like I said, leave comments. Have a good one. Peace.